It wasn't that long ago that in order to eat extraordinarily well, you had to fly to France or Italy. Our best was very good, but theirs was superb. Over time, that's all changed. New York is now home to a half a dozen or more restaurants as good as any on the planet. Today, we're going to visit one and find out what makes this restaurant so extraordinary. Here we are at 55th and 5th, the historic St. Regis Hotel, to spend a day with an old friend, Chef Christian Delouvrier of Lespinasse. This is perhaps the best restaurant in New York, or anywhere else for that matter.
Boss, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Shane?
Hey, Chef.
So what's it take to be this good? Certainly one of the most beautiful kitchens in the city, a world-class team in the front and back of the house, and endless devotion and energy, sparing no expenses or details, to create a menu and a dining experience that has to rank among the best you'll have ever had anywhere. So that's 4 stars. We're here with Christian Delouvrier, and I've known him for almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
Christian had to put up with me for, about 2.5 years. Back in the early 80s as a sous chef, and watching his career go has been great. In a day when chefs travel with their own psychologists, corporate jets, book deals, and movie deals, this guy's done it old school. And this is one of the great stories of Christian. He's just done nothing but worked unwaveringly at getting better and has gotten better and better. And today is one of 6 4-star chefs in New York, and I think there's 18,000 restaurants at last count.
Yeah.
Christian, thanks for having us in today.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about memories, your memories cooking, growing up, how you became a chef.
Well, I became a chef. It was natural to me to become a chef. I always was raised in a family where food was very important. 2 grandmother was spectacular cooks, and my mother was also doing very well. So being raised in an ambiance like this, it's only natural one day that if you don't feel like going to be a doctor, or you don't want to sit too much in
the office.
in the office or whatever, it's just natural that you take in that that way, and that's what I did. They're setting up the pass right there. That's the garde-manger pass, meat pass, fish pass. They're going to set up the bread, put the bread ready to go for the services. In the meantime, I'm cutting the foie gras for tonight. And little by little, that's what really put in my mind to give me the taste to be a cook first, to try to be a good one, and then maybe to become a chef. Because before running, you have to know how to walk. And it took me a long time. But finally, I'm here.
Okay, what's this, a little amuse-bouche today?
Yes, it is.
And it is what? Made of what?
This is a glazed chestnut with quince puree and lobster medallion.
What's the puree on the bottom?
That's quince puree
Quince
on the bottom.
puree, okay. And every diner gets one of these, boom, as they sit, before the menu.
This is something from the chef in the beginning of the meal.
This is the tuna tartare. We mix it with some chopped chive.
Gotcha.
And we put some shallots,
Gotcha.
then season it with salt, pepper. We use some tomato confit on the bottom, mix it with some ginger and soy sauce.
Beautiful, beautiful.
It's very difficult for me when people say I can cook everything. I can cook Chinese, I can cook Italian, I can cook French, whatever. It's not that easy because you need to be brought up in an atmosphere and an ambiance since the young ages that you become. It's natural to you. You're easy about it. You know in your mind that this is going to work or it's not going to work. That's a big portion, eh?
The sautéed duck breast.
Yeah.
Foie gras.
It's not sauté, it's grilled.
Grilled.
Yeah. It's the magret, huh? It's the real stuff.
We're saucing the sweetbreads. They're going to come through. Lucky customers. This is what they call mise en place, meaning everything in its place, and that's what this is.
Okay, it's a terrine of foie gras, which is just foie gras basically that's been cooked very slowly in duck fat and then molded into a terrine, triangular shape. And it's inside of poached pear, and that's a salad of lovage on the bottom, Concord grape reduction, and then we serve it with toast.
Wow, that's got to be brilliant to me.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Wow.
I need a potato for the chicken, huh?
God, does that look good.
This is the scallops appetizer. It's with the gnocchi.
Swiss chard, the gnocchi.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's the gnocchi is cooked with a really nice like chili peppers and citrus zest.
Good God. Smoked tomato mousse.
Yeah. It's awesome.
This is ridiculous. I love this. It's natural and the easy part because this is like watching Segovia play the guitar or Michael Jordan play basketball. It looks easy, but you try it.
Yeah, well,
I mean, your cooking really is developed over time.
Yeah, it's based on classical technique. It's not it's not classic, but it's based on classical technique. It's based on the bases, and you just know how to work with those bases, and then after that, it becomes natural and easy.
Bases, flavors, foundation. Really, this is the essence of all great cooking. It's like architecture. You're building from the ground up.
Okay, that is the pride and joy.
All right, the pride and joy.
That's the pride and joy. We used to do that at the Maurice. Huh? We started with like a 15 to 20 soup chicken and water, onion with onion on the stove, carrots, leeks, tomato, a lot of tomato, and we cooked until the chickens are completely overcooked. We strain them. The next day we take the bouillon and we put 15 more chicken in it.
And it's simple.
It's simple. And that's what justified a little bit the price we're charging in the restaurant.
I mean, look at the color of this stock already.
Yeah.
Now, is this the first
It's
pass or the
a
second?
bouillon. It should be a number one, yeah.
This is the number one.
Yeah, because it's
And it
got
already has this kind of color.
Yeah, right. Because the onions.
Wow. And for their mushroom essence here, 25 pounds of mushrooms cooked down to about a cup and a half of pure mushroom essence. Okay. Take a look at this veal stock. Any recipe book, look it up. Roast the veal bones, add the water, cook them for a day or so. Here at Lespinasse, the meat's still on the bones. They're extracting every drop of flavor they can. It's sweet, it's rich, it's meaty. It simply can't be made any better than this. I've noticed there's a theme here with the stocks in this restaurant. The days of the bones are gone. Why cook with bones when you can cook the animal? Yeah. It's gone full turn. Do you use much goose fat?
We use goose fat more than we use butter.
Here we find Christian experimenting. He's playing with a special that could be a new menu item. Tarragon. And at any other restaurant on its first take, this could be the signature dish. It looks fabulous, but not at Lespinasse. Wow. So the shank braised, the loin sautéed,
Neil,
the marrow as a flam.
you busy, yeah?
He may work this another dozen times until it's absolutely perfect. And then it'll find its way out the kitchen doors and into the dining room. But not until then.
A dish that I going to keep, and is a signature, and it's very simple. You're gonna laugh about that, but it is. It's a confit of baby pig. It's a baby pig that is being confit and cooked in duck fat in the oven, and at the order we finish it on the rôtisserie. We crisp it off in the oven, and that's served on a a dish of cassoulet beans. That's all. I think the parmentier for lunch is a braised beef cheek with mashed potato on top of it. It's a version of a parmentier, which is shepherd's pie. Shepherd pie. You can do that with leftover, but we don't do that with leftover here. We do that with
Not
beef.
quite.
The beef cheeks are marinated for like 5, 6, 7 days
In?
mirepoix and white wine. And then the beef cheeks are then seared off and braised with calf's feet and pork skin and everything in that jus. And with fresh red wine. And we top, it's very simple. We just top it with truffle mashed potatoes. But it's all about just real cooking, real food, real cooking.
Developing big flavors.
Nice, long, slow cooking with true flavor. That's exactly what it is. I just sort of...
The sauce is made from what?
The sauce is the braising liquid.
The braising liquid. Any part of the marinade going in here?
You really don't use that marinade because it's got too much impurities in it, too much blood in it.
Okay.
And it'll make the sauce go sour.
Wow. Wow. I mean, if you can imagine hitting every, taste, this is extraordinary. I guess there's some acid from the wine. The richness is unbelievable, but it's offset by the sauce. Potatoes are ridiculous. And the flavor of the meat is crazy.
It's another dish that we are not going to put back for a little while because we're chicken with truffles. Okay, so
Where'd you get the chicken? Where are these from?
this chicken is an organic chicken. It comes from Ederle, and we get them through a company called D'Artagnan that you probably heard it.
So while this is cooking, I mean, I'm asking a silly question, but the truffle flavor is beginning to thrill me at the breast.
Right. Here. And we season it always in the cavity, never on the skin, because the skin will dry the skin, and it will break, and it will look not too appealing.
Ugly. Ugly.
So fresh thyme in, salt first, like you saw. Yeah. Garlic, cloves.
For people that don't trust chicken, who simply throw it in the oven, tell us what this is doing, how it's protecting some things and...
Now, you're just making a big ball. The legs against the breast. So the legs going to protect the breast here. It's going to make a juicer chicken. Okay? That is essential to the success of a good roast chicken. That's
A
butter.
little bit of something there? Ah, it's good. Why do I like this picture?
And that's the way it is. That's the bird.
That's the bird before and after. We'll see it when she comes out. Looks good. Woo! Yepper. This looks beautiful. Truffles, lots of thyme.
Ordering 4 chefs. Those are the ones that already put in.
Everything's boiling, bubbling. Everyone's shaking the pans around. I mean, showtime here. And 4 stars, no less. I don't know if the public quite gets it, but this job, when you took it, was you're following in the track of a 4-star chef. This room had 4 stars. Again, in New York, there's 18,000 restaurants, a couple hundred 2 stars, maybe 50 3 stars, but never more than a half a dozen 4 stars.
Yeah.
So the eyes of New York are on you coming into this job.
Yes, I was very conscientious about that. I knew about that, and that's why I took it, because the eyes of New York and the food critics were on me. You have to understand that for me, I've always been a 3-star chef for many, many years, like 25, 20 years, and I always could never get 4 stars. So when I knew I could take that job, I took a very controlled risk. And I said to myself, I need the attention. I need to do something that people could attract the attention of the public and the food critic.
Ordering 2 bush, crab salad, scallop, followed by big rabbit.
What do we have here? What am I looking at here, guys? A caviar tasting? Sashimi, little beggar's purses, caviar, the traditional garniture. Kirk, look at this veal dish.
A whole roasted Vidalia onion.
It looks extraordinary. Little petit pois, chanterelles. What's the sauce there?
It's like a gastrique. It's the veal jus with the thyme honey.
That has to be fabulous. It's a Vidalia onion, whole roasted Vidalia onion.
Can we go?
Yes, sir.
What's the sauce, Christian? What's the sauce?
That is a broth. It's like a marinière. is all the juice from the clams. Butter is a base of scallops in there, no?
As if these fresh lobsters aren't wonderful enough, at Lespinasse, they coat them in a glaze of pure lobster stock reduction, just to be sure.
That's strong, huh?
Wow. Wow. Wait a minute. Where's the pastry chef during all this?
We're also doing a banquet down here for apple tarts, making sorbets, petit four baskets. Stays busy down here all night long.
What are you making here?
This is a garnish for one of the desserts, a peach tart. This is a almost like an almond brittle.
What else is working on the plate with this?
There are some peaches with a peach reduction, glazed with peach reduction, a little bit of blueberry for contrast and flavor, and then on top of this a large quenelle of peach ice cream, and then the almond brittle on top of that.
Oh, that sounds extraordinary. Wow. I think I'm saying wow too much. I have to learn new descriptive adjectives. Wowie zowie. Unbelievable. Extraordinary. Galingi. So in this country, for you to maintain and to come to this level of 4 stars and maintain it, one of the things you've seen that's really helped has to be the availability of just fabulous ingredients.
Yeah, fabulous
Coming to
ingredients.
you.
Fabulous ingredients and the quality of the staff that is around me. So that's 2 things. And maybe a couple of good ideas.
I'll give you this. And remember, it's easy. It's all easy.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
It's very simple.
Following Christian around with it. It's simple, simple. I wasn't buying that. Let me tell you something. The food at Lespinasse and the food at a bunch of other restaurants, Danielle, I mean, the really great New York restaurants, frankly, it's nearly impossible to do at home. Christian can do recipes that we can do at home, but they're not going to be the recipes from Lespinasse unless they're scaled down a bit, and they'll be wonderful. And we're going to try one of those today. I'm going to make a dish. I'm going to use a piece of white fish. Today it's going to be Mahi-Mahi. I'm going to create a base for it that's going to be a tomato sauce that I love. I'm going to use that as a base under the fish. Fish I'm going to saute, real easy, bing, bing, bing. Set it on top of the tomato concasse. We're going to have a little bit of basil puree, basil oil around the sides, and I'm going to get zucchini skins, deep fried, and just pile them up on the top. Here's how to make tomato concasse, which is the beginning of this. First, you get a plum tomato. So you take the end out where it grew, that was the vine end, and the other end we're going to make a little X. We're scoring these tomatoes because what I'm going to do is plunge them into boiling salted water for about 30 seconds to a minute until the skin begins to loosen up. See this one? See how the skin begins to come off? This is what we want. Just going to plunge them in cold water for a minute. This is just to get them to stop cooking. The skin's going to come right off. It just walks off like this. And then we're going to do this, cut them in half, and I'm going to squeeze out the seeds and any excess liquid, because really what I'm trying to do here is just get the flesh. Okay. We have the tomatoes. These have been seeded now for the most part and peeled, and we're just going to cut them into pieces like little kind of a dice. These zucchini sticks. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get the zucchini, and I try to pick zucchini that are uniform. I'm going to cut it right about in half, and then I'm going to lay my knife right in here, and I'm just going to cut the skin off. Just watch the knife and watch it roll. And in the meantime, we'll do these the way I always did them, which is by hand. So we have the tomato concasse. We blanched them, peeled them, seeded them, chopped them. I'm going to get some olives to throw in here. These are Niçoise olives, and I'm going to pit them. And there's really only one way to do this that I've ever found, and that's by hand. Now we're going to get shallots, and we're going to do a couple of cloves of garlic as well. How did I end up with all this little garlic today? I hate chopping small cloves of garlic. Or we're just going to line them up and like this. The other thing I have here, what a mess, is basil puree. This is very easy to make. I'll make it sometime on the show. It's very simple. This is a Mediterranean-style thingamajigger, so we're going to have olive oil and a fair amount of it. That's your shallots and your garlic. And I do not want them to take any color. So in about 10 seconds, the tomatoes are going to go in. All right, tomatoes are in. Tomatoes go in. The olives go in. Now we're going to bring this whole thing up to a simmer. Put in a nice little wad of that. And spread it around, and you'll see when we come out that will have worked its way in. And again, if I had fresh basil, I would have used a chiffonade of basil. We're going to get this up to temperature. I'm going to cover this with parchment paper. That's looking good. And the parchment goes down like this. And parchment's good in the oven because it doesn't burn. It won't. These little pieces, they'll take a little color. They'll turn a little brown, but they won't burn. All right, one more second on the stovetop to bring this up to here. You see how she's bubbling? Off, and in she goes. Oven's 400 degrees. We'll check this in about 15, 20 minutes. Okay, now that's what I wanted. We've dried this out. I mean, you could smell the olives big time, and it's just the essence of tomato. Mahi-Mahi, nice, firm-fleshed white fish here. Nice little fillet, about 8 ounces. We're just going to season this, saute, boom. In a pan, in and out, you know, medium, just cooked, so it's cooked through the center. I've got oil, about 350 degrees back there. You can tell it's moving around. We're going to do the fries in batches so we don't go crazy. And I want these also to cool off a little bit. So stand back, folks. All right? We're cooking with 2 hands. In she goes. These guys are going to come out. Once they get that nice brown color, they're going to continue to cook once I take them out. A piece of fish this big is going to take some time to cook, huh? This side here, you're probably looking at another 3 to 5 minutes to get this done. In a restaurant, you might do it here. We also might just slide this into the oven and let it finish cooking in the oven. So we'll make a decision on that in a minute. Do we have room? Yeah. Beautiful. All right. I like doing that with fish in the oven like this. That oven's about 350, 400 because it's going to cook slowly here, maybe 3 to 5 minutes in the oven. If you continue on the stovetop, you just worry you're going to get the skin too dry. You're going to get the surface too much color, and the center's not going to cook. So this is going to let the fish cook a little more evenly. So because again, that thick side was about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. It's going to need 3, 4 minutes in here to really come through. So we'll come back to this in a minute, pull it out, and complete the dish. Easy. That's good to go. All right. So the fish, hot. The beautiful little tomato compote is the base. Just like this, just enough to come a little under the fish and a little around it. Not too much. On with the fish. Up with the zucchini hair. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh my God. Looks like something out of a darn magazine, doesn't it? Oh wee, look at that. Tall food, I hate tall food. Why am I making tall food? I've never been a proponent of tall food. And little dribbles, little speckery dribbles here just around the side of the plate. Beautiful, huh? No, that's simple, huh? That's nice, not bad. Simple, good flavor, simple. And remember this tomato sauce, all purpose, use it for anything. Enjoy it and get yourself to Lespinasse while it's still there because you're saving yourself a trip to Paris, or France for that matter, because the food is extraordinary. Hats off to Christian, thank you, and see you next time.